Alrighty, here we go. Hi, it's Carrie from down in Texas. This is number 11. Are you tired of paying the unbelievable cost that we pay at the gas pump every time we fill up our car? Are you sick of that? I am. And it's for a simple reason. Because instead of getting it out of the backyard, fossil fuels, and the oil that is in our backyard, this administration has decided to buy it from people who don't care about the United States, actually who love sticking it to the United States and gouging us for a product that is in our backyard. Now, does that make any logical sense to you? Why would you pay for anything when you can go walk out your door? It's like growing vegetables. It's in your backyard. Why would you do that and spend money at a grocery store with exorbitant pricing when you can get it out your back door? That's what we're talking about here. We have enough in the ground in the United States that we would never have to buy it from anybody ever again. And it helps put Americans in the energy industry back to work. Two things for one decision. For the life of me, I cannot understand how this common sense decision is overlooked. Or maybe because there is a kickback somewhere. Somebody gets something back in their pocket like everything else that happens in Washington. That's the only logical explanation. And by the way, 58% of the American people believe what I believe. All we have to do is go to our backyard, drill it out of the ground, and we will never run out. And we will never have to pay a foreign entity for what is ours. That helps the economy. Then it puts Americans back to work. And we control it. We are not dependent on anyone else. Why is that so difficult? Oh, I know. Because it affects the administration's pocketbook, because they've promised things irregardless of whether those things hurt the American people. That's why. That is it right there. Like everything else they do, it affects their pocketbook. They don't care what happens to yours and my pocketbook, only what happens to their pocketbook. So they continue to make these kinds of deals that hurt the American public. Is that the kind of government you want? It's not the kind of government I want. I want the government I had 4 years ago, where I was prospering, where my savings were increasing, where I wasn't living on credit cards to get through the month because the cost of inflation is out of control. All of these things add up to the fact that this Harris administration has failed you and I on just about everything. Well, no, not just, on everything. This is the 11th failed policy. Energy. Why do we not want to be self-dependent? Why do we want to have to ask for anyone's help? America shouldn't have to do that, especially when it's in the backyard. There is no logical explanation for these decisions, with one exception. It affects their pocketbook, which in turn hurts you and me. So, this is another in the long line of failed Harris administration policies that have to be sent packing. She is so far to the left, she's going to fall off. That's how far to the left she is. She is a radical liberal that wants to socialize this country. And it's real close to, some of her beliefs are very, very close to communism. Think about it. Read. Educate yourself. This is not the person we want in the White House. She is not qualified. She is not going to go to Washington and help you and me. She is going to continue to feed and fund the oligarchs and the elites and the people in power in the Democratic Party. If you don't think that's what's going on, then you are not paying attention, America. This is not the kind of president that we want. She does not have your best interest or my best interest. She has her best interest and those in power in the Democratic Party. They prove that every day. Every day they prove that by their actions and their words. It's time to say no. It's time to fix the problem. It's time to get common sense decisions back in the White House with Donald Trump. Regardless of whether you like his policy, his personal policies, his personality, or his personal life. That doesn't have anything to do with being president of this country. After all, I seem to remember 2 other politicians that were, by the way, impeached because they lied, they perjured themselves. Oh, but that's right, they were Democrats too. It's a trend, isn't it? 11th failed Harris policy, our energy. And it's so simple. We just simply go to the backyard, drill it out of the ground, then you and I benefit, our economy benefits, the employees who've been out of work for 4 years can get back to work, and we can become self-reliant once again for our energy costs. Why that was ever stopped is beyond me, and it's just proof that this administration, they don't care about you and me. They care about themselves, their party, and their pocketbooks, not the American people. Number 11, let's make sure that we repost these failed policies every day, over and over, until we get to the election, so we can make sure that the Trump army gets the information out, so those people who don't really know will be informed. Because the news media, that's just a propaganda machine for the left. They don't want to give the real facts to the American people. So the American people need to do it now through social media. Thank goodness we have social media, because if we didn't, we'd have to depend on that propaganda machine that lies and lies and lies every single day to you and me. Enough. Donald Trump needs to be reelected come November. Let's make sure that that happens. Let's roll. Let's go. Let's get it done.